Well, hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome aboard to our first look at Train Life, a railway simulator. Now fully released. That's right, we've taken a look at this game before on the channel, and if you love yourself games like American Truck Simulator or Euro Truck Simulator 2, and also a little bit of Derail Valley, then this is the game for you. This is an open-world train simulator that allows you to buy, own, and operate your very own locomotives and also the train cars and take your own jobs at your own pace. Yeah, it truly is like living on the railroad, truly. Not just a simulator of routes that are made from others, but you make the routes. And you can check out this game with the link down below in the description, as today's video is sponsored by Train Life, a railway simulator. Yeah, this was quite interesting when I tried it out a little while ago on the channel during a live stream, and now that I've gotten a little bit more time behind the controls, I really truly think this is a great game with combining elements of European railways, primarily German, and also a lot of German locomotives and cars, all trying to get them all on the same tracks, and then also allowing you to have passenger trains. Yeah, right there. You're not just limited to freight, but also passenger trains too. So obviously two very different types of cargo to haul there, with two very different types of requirements for speed and distance and you know, like moving cars around, shunting and connecting cars, all very interesting in Train Life, a railway simulator. Well, thank you very much for subscribing here today to see more of Train Life, a railway simulator. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe and say hi down below in the comment section, and check it out with the link in the description. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some of the first things they'll have you do tutorial-wise to learn some of the basic controls of things we can do, where we can go, and what we can see, and then we'll try to take some more jobs in the future. I do plan on live streaming this one some more, and there's some great other footage out there for this game too on the channel, so make sure you do check that out if you want to see more of this awesome simulator. Oh, look at those train cars, refrigerators. Nice. All right, let's go. Alright, so we've created our profile, basic stuff like name, age, location, but also our company information. So we've chosen our colors here as well as our logo, and check out all the countries we can go to. Now, since we're connected via rail, all the different types of rail gauges here would be different, but for purposes of uniformity, they've kind of created everything running on the same rail type. So whether you're in Poland or Germany or even Luxembourg, or wow, even Liechtenstein? That's crazy. Austria, the Netherlands, Belgium, UK, and France. A couple others in there. Ah, yeah, of course, because we can go through the channel. Yes. So everything runs on the same gauge, so you can do that. Oh, wow. I've been here before. The Hague and Amsterdam, too. Both countries. Or, well, cities within this country, but many of these countries, too. So very cool to see a lot of German locations focusing primarily there, with many of the destinations being within Germany, but also Switzerland, too. Belgium and France on here as well. So pretty much all of the major Central European railroads are included here. So let's start with the Netherlands. Let's go to The Hague and see if we can begin here and make that our HQ. We're also going to play with the tutorial on, so once that's complete, it'll basically keep us in and around Amsterdam, I think, for the, or rather, just the Netherlands for our first jobs. But I don't think that'll stop us from leaving the country and delivering cargo in Germany, for example. All right, let's begin.
We're going to have to carefully get it to a service center and get it fixed up, as well as refueled. On our way there, we'll cover the basics of railway rules.
Oh, great. So yeah, train's busted, requires maintenance. Got to drag it into the maintenance station then. So all trains can be repaired this way, all locomotives, and I think train cars can be customized this way too by bringing them directly to a maintenance bay. So let's go ahead and begin.
Take a careful look at the speed signs and signals here. These will help inform you about what speeds you can expect to be limited to, as well as what speeds to expect in future signal blocks.
So the previous end section there had asked us something about a switch here, and it was the switch track button in which we were looking for that tutorial. So I was looking around for directional switch, not necessarily forward and backwards, but more left and right for the track. Alright, drive past the second set of speed signals. Oh, look at those cars. Beautiful blue. Can we open windows? No, we can. Or it looked like it. Oh no, that was just a sign passing by. Wow, it's really smooth, I gotta say. Frame rate is very nice. I think that's one of the most important things in a simulator often is not always graphics for immersion, but frame rate for playability. Oftentimes, if you need to slow down right then and there, as you would in real life, you'd start to apply a brake, but in some games there can be a little hitch of not being able to insert, you know, a command for a control, and thus you kind of get a little limited with what you can do sometimes. It can be frustrating and annoying to try to time it perfectly, but in this case, she's smooth as eggs. Alright, looks like we're going uphill now. Oh, we can also set our destinations that way too.
Inclines and declines are an important factor to think about when driving a locomotive. Increase the throttle and pick up more speed to handle inclines, but always be prepared to scale the throttle back and increase the brakes if there's a decline soon after.
Oh yes. Now I wonder if all these, I wonder if every track in the game actually has the, what do you call this thing above us? Is it the, I always forget the name of it, the, what is it? I forget.
Remember, your locomotive is already looking a bit worse for wear. Let's use the regular brakes to slow down before these next signals, just to be safe.
Right. Yeah, so the electric wire above us is basically what I'm thinking of. It's called the, is it the pantograph that comes up out of the top of some of the electric locomotives, where the battery can be used to activate some systems, and then that can be connected to these lines. This, of course, is a diesel train, but there's room for both on these tracks, and I'm assuming that every inch of track must be covered by these wires, but it'll be interesting if there's some areas that only locomotives that are diesel can go, or, for example, freight trains or something. Unlikely, but be interesting to see. Alright, let's stop here. Perfect.
Take careful note of the blocking signal lights and what they signify. Blocking signals update any time a train enters or leaves a block, so keep a close eye on these while you drive.
In other words, we're going left. There we go. And there they updated. Very cool. Now, I'm not sure exactly how realistic all of these signals are for the locations in which we'll be in, if it'll change based on whether we're in Germany or France or the UK, but regardless, I'm happy that we can go to all those different destinations, so that way at least we're not limited to German railways or French railways without having to change completely. We can actually go the whole way between them.
Ah, a service center. These will be the lifeblood of our journey. We can buy new locomotives, new parts, or customize our locomotives and transportation mode here.
Yes, transportation mode, setting it, I believe, for either passenger duty or for freight. Some trains can do both. Some trains are dedicated to freight, or at least better for freight cars and others for passengers. Oh man, I love the blue color of those hoppers over on the right side. Very nice looking. Alright, so we need to enter the service center. So yeah, as they mentioned, this is kind of like a shop. Also a maintenance bay. We can buy all sorts of customizations here. We also have our currency up in the upper right corner. So, of course, completing jobs will give us more of that currency. And then, of course, we can spend that sweet, sweet moolah on upgrades and customizations, decals, and a lot more. Alright, we can just press F to go inside, but let's come to a full stop. Actually, we don't have to. Well, it does say we should, but we don't have to. There we go. Let's go in.
Always make sure your locomotive is topped up with fuel and repaired to prevent catastrophic issues.
So the SG6 requires a little bit of repair and a little bit of refuel. Let's see here. We have our refuel. We have our game mode, passenger post, and cargo mode. Or actually, I'm sorry, that's our cargo mode, but this is game mode here. Manage locomotives. Right now we just have the one, and look at all the stats for it too. 4,300 liters of fuel for capacity. Maximum power and acceleration. and the ability to buy more. These are some of the available locomotives in the game at the moment. And probably not all, but not unlocked until another level. So not only do we need to get money, but we also need to prove ourselves on the rails. What else is there? Locomotive Customization. Oh, look at that. We can do interior detailing if we want to as well. That's kind of cool. Oh, Dutch breathing intensifies. We got a Dutch windmill at level 4. Then we have ourselves a little clock, watches, and of course, a succulent. Oh, and a cactus too. Wow, amazing. Very cool. All right, let's go ahead and refuel and repair. We'll fix all. 24,000. Now, who knows? That could be after many miles or kilometers of stopping and going and pulling and hauling, or perhaps a catastrophic accident. I hope not. And let's refuel that. What was it? 2,400 liters? Was that it? Or 24,000?
Let's reverse our locomotive with the service center's roundtable and head back out.
Oh, really? Can we do that? Reverse the train. How would we go about doing that? Navigate to the Utilities tab and use the Reverse Train Direction option. Okay. So that was under Utilities here. Oh. Actually, it's hard to tell whether or not it changed or not. Switch the direction of your train facing on the tracks. Oh, I see. You have to first select it, then click, just like with the refuel menu. It's still hard to tell which way it's facing, though, to be honest. All right, let's exit the service center. Short and sweet.
There's a locomotive ahead occupying one of the blocks. That said, the other block is free.
Well then, let's go forward. And we'll navigate our way to back up the hill, I suppose. Alright, choose a track at the junction and drive past the locomotive on the hill. Gotta say, these types of games are very satisfying, where instead of running a simulation is very enjoyable, but running a simulation where you're in charge of all the customization and that you can customize where you go and what you haul, very important. I think that's one of the things around games like, for example, Microsoft Flight Simulator that makes that fun, is that you can pretty much go where and whenever and in what you would like to go. And it's kind of the same with this, except you have to then earn it like you would in American Truck Simulator or Euro Truck, and also combining what we really like about games like Derail Valley and other train simulator games as well, where you of course get to pick up your own cargo. But this game does its best at combining all that, and that's really something that impressed me, trying to make a open rail simulator, except it's an on rails experience like that. It's got to be the hardest thing to do, to make a game interesting and interactive, where we can do all sorts of different you know, things like that. Customize our train, buy all sorts of different cargo and whatnot, and then sell it at the next destination, or however that works exactly. Now, I've hauled logs before, and I've hauled a few, I think, metallic cars around as well, and done a little bit of passenger duty too. Gotta say, I think I like the early game the best, of course, because it's so exciting to be able to load up with logs and make short work of short travel, short distances, to make a little bit of money to then buy your first customization options. But over time, it'll get a lot better and a lot more open, a lot more enjoyable that way. All right, we're coming up to the top again. Well, they want us to reach the speed of 30. Or at least they'll let us know. There we go. So I'm assuming, too, that there's a way we can set this to a more realistic function. Obviously, the signals in the game work, and all the indicators and things work quite effectively as well. So all the on-screen HUD of showing us our speed and throttle percentages and whatnot, not totally necessary. More for beginners, to make things uniform. But you can also choose to play in a higher level of realism.
Another locomotive is up ahead. Take care to avoid it. If you make a mistake, remember to use your emergency brakes.
All right, let's increase speed And we're heading back to where we came from now, so pretty nice. So it looks like this train is probably on the left track this time. We'll just have to switch one more time. And in this case, we're going to be staying left, actually. Very nice. I gotta say, I like the graffiti too and the chill atmosphere of the game as well. It certainly is a game of realism, but also a game of relaxation too, especially if you're on the rails. I think some of the most relaxing games out there, of course, are simulators, unless we're talking about, you know, a particular muddy mess of trucking out in, you know, out in the woods, hauling logs and rolling over. But in this case, it's nice to be able to roll forward with the logs and deliver them to a furniture factory or something. And there we are. Job done.
If you can avoid fines and collisions, you'll be able to do just fine, engineer.
Alright, we're going to stop right in front of the maintenance bay. And that should be the end of our maintenance tutorial, going up and down inclines and avoiding trains and reading signals. Wow, they really taught a lot without having to be overly complicated. Another good thing for, you know, newbies and kids or people unfamiliar with these trains and whatnot. Easy way to learn. Very nice. Alright, on to the next one.
Time for the core of your work. We're going to practice taking and delivering wagons of goods.
Open up the comms panel.
European companies and cities rely on the goods produced by its various industries. Higher tier goods are worth more, but require you to produce them with lower tier resources and goods first.
Right, we can do production chains in this game. So we can take logs to a lumber mill to maybe a furniture factory, and then furniture to like a store or something like that, for example. Very nice. Alright, we're going to make a call and order a pizza. No, we're going to call the forest and let them know we're picking up logs. Sorry, I got hungry.
Let's open the station panel now.
3.
The station panel contains all of the necessary information to plan out your journeys. Take a look around. There's no time limit.
Alright, so accept a single contract for log wagons. Alright, we're going to go with this one then. And back.
This dwarf signal may be cute, but it's also a necessary signal to watch if you want to avoid a fine for being on a station without authorization.
Oh, true.
Proceed to the pickup track so we can couple our wagons.
Request station access using the comm panel. Alright, we've been granted.
After gaining station access, the station will provide you with any relevant tracks. Let's go to the pickup track.
Okay, set your navigation mode to pickup track and stop on the pickup track. You got it. Alright, so radio can close, and now we're set to pickup track. So this is one thing that the keys were used for before, with the period and comma keys. We'll select kind of like our GPS route. It'll show us where we should go and how we can enter a area. And we'll continue to pick up speed a little bit. They want us to stop here, I believe. Or this is just showing the entrance, I believe. I forget which. No, okay. So we can continue past these. These are basically just the entrances into the logging area. So we basically follow the colors. So we can enter blue, so left or right. And then we just need to kind of proceed along the tracks to wherever the cargo may be. So in this case, we could stop on the right track, but there's also the further left track where we can stop as well. I wonder, are we permitted to couple and uncouple here? I believe we need to be on this track here on the left. Let's see, can we actually stop here? I believe we need to be in the orange section to do that, but if we would have loaded here, we would have had to have either driven in reverse or gone around to the maintenance bay to flip around. Okay, so we can stop here and look at our contracts, but we have none for this particular track. Yeah, so nothing that we can do. Oh, but we can also see our total weight and additional information there. Very cool. Okay, let's go to the maintenance bay and we'll flip around. And then we'll try to pick up some more logs, or at least our first load of logs. That'll be cool. So into the maintenance bay we go. And what we learned before is that we can basically just slow down before the maintenance bay and reverse ourselves. Boom. Any damage? Oh, it doesn't look like it. Well, the menu's in the way, so we'll just use the utility mode then to flip around. And there we go. So a great way to actually get in and out of these areas where there's not like a full loop around the cargo yard or whatnot. You sometimes can come into the maintenance bay first, get any sort of repair or fuel for your long journey, and then proceed to go pick up your cargo and leave. It's a little easier to do it this way and load up on your way out than it is to load up and bring it in on the way in. You can go into those maintenance bays with cargo or passengers, but you might not want to do that. They might be a little irritated if you do that. Alright, so this time we're going to stay left. And we'll try to stop at the end of the track here, towards the end. Very nice. Now, obviously, there's weather in this game, and it does affect your ability to see as well, and might also affect a little bit of the physics. For example, wheel slippage and such might increase if there's wet leaves or something on the tracks. It could be a possibility. I would just say if you see that rain, be more cautious. And, of course, you can flip on your windshield wipers and whatnot. Pretty helpful. Oh, and dynamic weather, too. It seems like it was getting a little cloudy out, and then I saw the sun pop out. Pretty. All right, let's come to a full stop.
Now it's time for coupling and decoupling.
All right.
When coupling and decoupling, let the station know which wagons you want using the panel on the left. This will spawn them and allow you to go wagon by wagon, coupling them to your train.
Ah, so it's automatic that way. We have 3 cars full of logs, which give us 225 tons, in addition to whatever the weight of the train is. Oh. Okay, very nice. We can customize everything, basically.
Let's use this service center to turn around, just as we did before.
Way ahead of you, Chief. They thought I was going to do it the right way. Well, I think it's a little easier to go get maintenance before you load up with cargo. But you get the point. Alright, so now the task is going to be to deliver, so we just need to make it to the sawmill here. We can kind of bypass what they want us to do a little bit. Once we complete going to the maintenance bay, it's exactly what we're doing now, which is just leaving and going to the sawmill. We then radio to the sawmill a permission to drop off at some location, and then we request access to go to that location. So we need to ask them where we can go, and then if we can go there. So it's not an if and a where, it's a where and then an if. Hey, can we stop on this section of track? Yes. Okay, can we go there now? No, or yes. But that's why the things in the upper right corner are pretty helpful as well.
Let's take these logs to a sawmill so they can be processed into lumber. Open your map and select the sawmill icon. You should notice a yellow GPS route being created.
Ah, yes, indeed it did. I'm glad that they had the tutorial bypass all of that for dumb YouTubers. That's good. They have a dumb YouTuber mode. No, that's good for everybody. Everybody can learn. Even if you're a trained pro, every game is different and every locomotive is different as well. Now, of course, the uniformity of using W and E to operate your brakes and your throttle is nice, but the option for realism, of course, by doing it in the cab is nice as well. Well, those cars look good. Come on, let's drive from first person a little bit. Oh, yes, we need to add the sawmill to our GPS, too. There we go. Set navigation mode to main route. And drive towards the sawmill. Wow, pretty. Look at the lakes and stuff. Pretty sure we can pick up the pace a little bit. Oh, the flowers look great. There's a castle off in the distance. Lots of nice trees. Lake reflections look beautiful. A church tower or town hall or something off in the distance, too. Beautiful. They want us to speed up to 60 now. Makes sense with that incline. Beautiful. So one of the things that's going to be tough in this game for me is with it looking so gorgeous, I'm not going to be paying attention to the tracks. It's too fun to actually look out and look at all the farmhouses and buildings and trees and roads and other things out there. Too pretty. Oh, the route needs to be reset through the GPS. Oh, it seems to clear it. Interesting, it says no route set. But it is set, okay. Well, we're going to speed up, so let's slow down. Now we're going to start speeding up. All that heavy logs will get behind us. Or not. Oh, you can even see smoke coming out of the houses and stuff. Either a barbecue or a chimney. Look like a chimney back there. Pretty. All right, let's speed up to 50 kilometers. So this is pretty much everything we can do so far, is of course going to different factories to pick up things like, for example, fuels or oils or cars, you know, actual automotives, that type of thing, or passengers, which will be a whole different affair. Stopping at each station on time, making sure we give the appropriate amount of time for the train to load and unload and for passengers to get to where they got to go, and account for any sort of delays by bypassing.
Great work on getting to the sawmill. Once you have obtained access to the station, navigate to the delivery track, where we can decouple these wagons.
Okay, request station access. Oh, this must have changed. Proceed to the station's drop-off track. Okay. So that'll be the left track, won't it? Well, we'll see. We'll get a little closer and keep an eye on the junction. Now, I believe the way it used to be is that you'd have to ask permission to enter the area of this station and then indicate that you were going to be dropping off. I think there might be some stations where you can pass through an area and you need to ask permission to do it, but it might be only emergency purposes. Alright, so we've asked for access so we can go past the blue. And I think we're going to stay on the right side here. And continue to go right. And we'll stop right up here. Ah, okay. So offloading is set to 2, loading is set to 1, or perhaps not. Maybe the up arrow is to offload and the down arrow is to load? Let's see. Or we go all the way to the end of the route, which actually leads to the maintenance bay. Well, let's slow it on down here and see what happens. It may need to be the one on the left. But hey, that's why we're playing the tutorial. We can decouple everything from here. But we need to be in the right area. Okay. So yeah, a little confusion as to, like, is the up arrow offloading, as in we're getting it up off the train or up off the car, or is it that we're loading up? Alright, let's go ahead and disengage our brakes. I think we'll go in reverse here. And that's exactly why we have ourselves a tutorial, is it not? Pretty. Good to hear the sounds of the train, too. And we get to spend more time loading and offloading. And now we can proceed forward. There we are. The route does indicate, it looks almost as if it's on the right track, though. Even if we select the left track, it seems to go right and lead us all the way to the maintenance bay. Although our instructions are not to proceed there, but to just simply go to the station drop-off track. Look at that sun coming through again, peeking through the clouds. Beautiful. And let's try this. There we go.
Finish this decoupling and you're set.
Decouple the contracted wagons, confirm delivery, and exit decoupling mode. Ah, it brings us all the way up to the front. Neat. Yeah, there we
Great
go.
work. Every wagon helps grow your company, so try to be efficient to maximize your profits and progress.
Well, now we know. Good work. Okay. The service center is up in front of us. Man, look at that city. I love everything about the look of this game. I think this is a great art style. Very detailed without being too overly demanding or just unnecessary clutter, I suppose. Very clean. All right, let's begin to brake. Whoa. There we go. That was close.
Not all locomotives are meant for transporting cargo. Some are commuter locomotives and are only designed to transport passengers or some postage. The service center allows us to add or remove wagons for these trains. Try doing so now.
Nice. Okay, we're going to add 3 passenger wagons and 1 postage wagon. All right, looks good. Oh, we need to reverse ourselves, shouldn't we? Oh, yes. Almost forgot. There we go. Perfect. Train is a lot more heavy now. Open the world map.
Selecting stations on the map will allow you to set up a route, and it will automatically inform those stations that you intend to take goods from them to another station.
Okay, so they want us to go to... wait a minute. Add to route. I think we need to go north first, then back to south, and then close the tablet? Oh, route planner. I see. Separate option. That's better. There we go.
Unfortunately, we'll have to backtrack just a little bit, as the switches we need are behind us. Take note of where the marked platform is, then navigate to it slowly and carefully.
I would say it's platform 2. Let's turn on our headlights. Was it Y? Yeah. I remembered. Ooh, a Ferris wheel, and it's actually functioning. Okay, let's begin to brake. And reverser. Brake off, throttle up. I can hear like a sports game going. I think I can hear cheering off in the distance. Okay, so let's do our next step then. Let's go into reverse. Set navigation mode to the passenger boarding track navigation. Fully stop on indicated track. So we got to set navigation mode. Oh, we can do that from inside the train, I believe. Navigation mode. Switch track. Oh, this is much different. It's much different for controls, isn't it? This is just the dashboard in general. Emergency brake. Here's the controls here. Toggle doors. All right, cool. There'll probably be a hotkey for that too. Switch to cabin. Cabin lights. Coupling. Radio there. AC units. That might be important for the passengers, maybe. Okay, we'll set navigation mode via the old method then of just pressing period and comma. Although I did want to take a look and see if the button existed there. I'm pretty sure there's a way to flip that from the map screen inside. Alright, reverser on. I think we want to stay left here. Or do we? Can we see the back of the train? I believe we want to keep left. And then stay right. And we should be able to go right back onto the station platform. Like a glove. It's going. Cool. Alright, platform 3. Anywhere should do. And now we'll learn to open doors. A door opening experience, for sure.
With the emergency brakes engaged, you can open the doors and begin the process. Passengers will get off as needed, and then get on as desired. Remember, this is based on the GPS route you've set up.
Oh. So it's all based on the GPS route we can set. Interesting. Uh-oh. It looks like the text in the upper left corner is missing a few of the things. I'm sure they'll have that out. This is a little bit of an earlier preview version, so whatever the button may be will be set up correctly. I'm going to have to just figure it out on the system then. We saw it before, didn't we? Switch cabin. Door open, door close buttons. Power reverser, switch cabin. Cabin lights, right? Rack switch. Wait, let's blow the horn. Yeah. Very nice. Let's see. There we are. Now we just wait for the boarding to end. Which is done. Or now it's done?
Depending on the train or locomotive, you can switch to a rear-facing cabin or locomotive. Try doing so now, as the commuter train you're in will be much easier to drive this way.
Oh, cool. An auto
Let's
switch.
get to the final station on our journey.
Alright, time to leave. Let's head back towards the Theindorf north as we leave Theindorf south. Very pretty. And now we just cruise all the way. Wow, pretty. Oh, they have igloos. I didn't realize Alaska was in Germany. Smooth. Oh, even windmills blowing in the background. There's the stadium that I saw too, and there's a little Ferris wheel that we saw before as well. Damn, nice detail on the environments. The stations are pretty clean, pretty calm, not too complicated, it looks like. But the cities look beautiful. Alright, we'll have to request access for the next station soon. I'm sure it'll tell us to do that in the tutorial. We'll just follow along.
Announce your arrival and drop off these passengers to finish this phase of your exam.
Okay, so we're going to north.
You know what to do, engineer. Let's get these passengers where they need to go.
Let's do it. All right, 80 kilometers. We hit there in the straightaway. And down to 60. Perfect. Beautiful. And we'll continue to slow down as we enter the correct area. It's interesting to see a train GPS, isn't it? This should have auto set for the right track, as in left and right, which should be the correct track, too. We'll hold it around 40. Route to station has been lost. Looks like we want to be on the left track here. However, the GPS is the one guiding the way, so it should tell us exactly which track to be on. Otherwise, is there a way for us to zoom in and look? I guess we'll have to look ahead of time and can't really rely on the GPS. At least because it is so... It would be a little nicer to be able to zoom in on that section to see, but we'll just go here and we'll call it a day. Right station, wrong track. It's all good. But this is a learning process, and it looks great. Now let's pull in here. Oh, there's actually passengers on the station. Nice. Very nice indeed.
Completed your engineer's exam with flying colors, and you're now ready to take the rails of Europe without me watching over your shoulder. While the vast network of rails ahead may seem daunting, consider that the reprimand for driving slowly is less severe than the one for hitting other vehicles or breaking any laws. When in doubt, relax and take your time. But you don't have to undertake such a large task alone. There are others like you, all looking to make a dent in the market and transport what they can.
All right, well, that is it for today's first look at Train Life, a railway simulator. Buy your own trains, drive your own trains, and drive them on the tracks. Drive yourselves nuts, making your own companies and making mistakes and making customers happy. Kind of all part of the job, I suppose. All right, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for leaving a like on the way out. You all have a fantastic day. Thanks for your kindness and positivity and greatness down below in the comment section. And I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.